Started out on live, man, that was the play. Streaming every night, building up the sway. But as the site faded, I had to find my way. Now I'm hopping platforms, surfing through the fray. Got my crew behind me, yeah, we call them givers. Chillin' IRL, catching all the rivers. Farkle in the chat, bringing laughs to the grind. Talking crypto games while we sippin' Jack Fine. Gives a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, the life's a subtle rhyme. From the land down under, streaming through the night. New Zealand's vibe, surfing waves day to night. Always looking for the next thrill, that's where I ignite. Community so solid, always shining bright. Rolling, rolling deep, we're cruising for the height. From the struggle to the stream, it's all just a game. But with the giver found, we're making our name. Jack and crypto profits, life just gets sweeter. Every view and every stream, making life a keeper. Give us a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, life's a subtle rhyme. From the land down under, streaming through the night. Got my heart on my sleeve, everything feels right. So here's to the journey, no regrets in sight. Each laugh and each tear, it's a beautiful fight. Keep the wave rolling, let the good vibes flow. We're the givers, together in the show. Gives a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, the life's a subtle rhyme. From the land down under, streaming through the night. Got my heart on my sleeve, everything feels right. Script how we play a game. First start to the next time, but chasing fame. With fear behind me, changing the scene. So through the internet, living out the dream. Got my acoustic strum, curing the chill for cracking jokes. Go stop the thrill. In the land of Kiwis, we ride the waves. Our road streams phone, no better days. Gives a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, the life's a subtle rhyme.
Hello, the internet. It is Thursday, the 16th of July, 2026, and welcome back to the channel. Last night, I received an email from Heatbit. You know Heatbit? They make these Bitcoin miners that use the heat from...
Pigeon on Valora says, I'll be back soon, man, just need to contact Atto.
Oh shoot, I better turn that down. Sorry, that's my custom alerts triggering on my phone from my own chat overlay, which I am this close to rolling out. That worked fine. I'm just appreciating that coming up there nicely. I'll just leave that there so I can see it, but I won't be able to hear it. I turned it down. Text to speech seems to work fine. Yeah, anyway, Heatbit, they make heaters for your house, and instead of just generating heat, they also earn you Bitcoin. So they are a Bitcoin miner that uses the heat for something. So great for you if you're in like a cold climate and you're going to buy a heater anyway. You might as well buy something that generates heat. Mining Bitcoin generates heat, so therefore why waste that heat? Use it for something. Now, of course, the argument is if you're buying one of these Heatbit heaters as a Bitcoin miner, you're going to probably make more money if you spend the money that you'd spend on the heater just buying Bitcoin and holding it. That's the advice that most people would give you. You're going to buy something that generates heat, you might as well just buy the Bitcoin. But if you're going to buy a heater anyway, I can kind of see the trade-off, or I can see the benefit. Hexy, how you doing, man? I first heard of that concept up in the cold regions of Russia. I mean, look, everyone needs heaters. By the way, MVP Madston, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to have you. Good to know you. Sir Pigeon, good to have you. Also grabbing the first place prize to the Valora. And then MVP Madsen, you could claim the second place prize if you wanted to. It's still available. Sir Pigeon claimed the first one. But wherever you want to watch is fine with me. My chat will bring it all in soon. Right now it's just on Valora, but yeah. It seems like a great way to put the waste heat to use. I mean, yeah, look, so I'm not adverse and I'm not against this idea, but I did receive a very interesting email last night. Take a look at this. This is from Heatbit. A 1 terahash per second home miner found a Bitcoin block. That's the title of the email. Now, it is coming to me, but I don't know why that they didn't generate my name there. But hi, comma. A small home miner just did something extraordinary. On July 12, a single-chip Bitcoin miner running at roughly 1 terahash per second found Bitcoin block 957368. The reward? Just over 3 Bitcoin. Just over 3 Bitcoin. Hey Siri, what's Bitcoin price in USD? Won't answer.
I found some web results. I can show them if you ask again for your own phone.
I know that the Bitcoin price is roughly 60 grand right now, about 64. Let's call it 60, 120, 180. You're earning 180 grand from turning your heater on? Are you kidding me? Now, hold on a second. Let's keep reading. The reward, 3.125 Bitcoin. It wasn't an industrial mining farm. It was one compact miner connected to a solo mining pool, competing under the same Bitcoin rules as every other miner on the network. The odds were extraordinarily small. Most such miners will never find a block, but the possibility is real. That is the idea behind BitAir. Now, they do provide some chain analysis here of the address, the difficulty rate, the worker, solo worker, the hash rate. Doesn't show you the actual mined token. However, what I want to do, first of all, let's clarify a few things here. If you're wondering what the hell's going on, we're talking crypto on this stream today. All crypto today. Probably not all crypto, but for the time that we talk about crypto, we're talking about crypto. I want to go into this. I want to do this for 2 reasons, because I want to learn something myself. So this concept of finding a Bitcoin block, what is all that about? Well, if you are aware, the process of mining Bitcoin is the process of compute power answering an algorithm. And the way that this works is the first computer to answer the algorithm correctly verifies the block, finds the Bitcoin, and gets a reward. In this instance, the reward was 3.125 Bitcoin, around about 180 grand at today's prices. So that's the idea behind finding a Bitcoin or mining a Bitcoin. That's what the compute process does. Now, typically you're going to need a lot of compute process. These big farms of computers somewhere in Siberia that are mining Bitcoin over and over and over again. They're the ones that usually get the best hash rate, the most compute power, and they're the ones that solve all the equations, and therefore they're typically the ones that earn the rewards. What we're seeing here is a single chip Bitcoin miner running at roughly 1 terahash. Now, I want to clarify what the hell a terahash is, because I'm not even really sure myself. I understand it's compute power, but what does it actually work out to be? We don't know. We're going to work that out ourselves. So 1 terahash did find a Bitcoin block, and they give you the block number there. So we're going to look into that. They provide this screenshots. Further down in this email, BitAir. So what the hell is BitAir? I know what Heatbit is, but BitAir combines a true HEPA air purifier with approximately 1.2 terahashes of Bitcoin mining power. So I went immediately to the actual Heatbit website, and this is what they're talking about. This is a air purifier. They do call this the BitAir. Kind of cheap, right? 170 bucks, 180 bucks US. This thing sits in your room and purifies the air and mines Bitcoin, and it just well may find you an entire block, earning you 3 Bitcoin. Are you kidding me? the world's first portable air purifier with a solo Bitcoin miner. It just works. 1.2 terahashes of power, 99.97% filtration, whisper quiet plug-in, auto start mining, blah bling blang blang. The easiest way to join Bitcoin, plug in, connect, and you're mining. No rigs, no setups, no headaches, just clean air. So this is not a heater. This is just a clean air purifier. Hexy, it's like a Bitcoin lottery ticket. Kind of. Plug it in, power it on, connect, join the Wi-Fi, mine. You're in. That's it. That's all you need to know about the product. However, there is more to know about this email, because if you continue reading, which I'm going to show you how, or I'm going to do for you, while it cleans the air in your home, it can keep making independent attempts to find a Bitcoin block. No mining warehouse, no complicated setup, no guaranteed returns. That should be important. Just an everyday appliance that also gives you a small, continuous chance to participate directly in Bitcoin mining. You may never find a block, but as block 957368 proved, every valid hash has a chance. Reserve yours for $5. Now, the thing I want to say before we go any further is, this does look like, if you read that like I did when I woke up this morning, it reads like someone had a bit air purifier and they mined a Bitcoin block. But if you read it again closer, it doesn't actually say that. So this is crafty marketing, because nowhere in this email does it say the person was using our product. It just says, on July 12, a single chip Bitcoin miner running at roughly 1 terahash found the block 957368, the reward 3.125 Bitcoin. Doesn't tell you what the product that they were using. It just says that on the blockchain, someone found a Bitcoin block and they only had 1 terahash of power. So then what they've done here at Heatbit is they've compared that with their own product and said, well, what can we get out of that? We've got products that run around the same terahashing of power. Let's make an email campaign and say, did you know if you had the same power, which we sell in our products, you could find that block too. They're not saying anybody did that. They're saying you could do that. They're not even saying the person that did it with their product. But that's what my mind read when I saw. It's like, do you see, when you look into those mosaic pictures and you're supposed to see a dolphin? I saw the dolphin immediately, but there was no dolphin. No dolphin, no dolphin. Yeah, so the idea of them cashing in on this is basically saying, well, we need to sell more products. Here's a sneaky, cheeky way to do that. Let's piggyback off the back of this scenario and try to sell more of our product. So what I thought we should do today, I'm not good at this. I've never been good at this. Chain analysis. It's a strange word. Analyzing is already a weird word because I want to say anal, but it's analysis. But chain analysis is looking into the blockchain and discovering what transactions took place when, how were they performed, what was the earnings, and blah, 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 bling, blong, blang. I want to find out whether this actually happened. They've given us the block number 369578 or whatever it was. I want to actually go into, I want to learn how to chain analysis, and I want to follow the trail and see if on July 12, somebody did mine a block and successfully compute that with 1 terahash of power, and did they receive the reward of 3.125 Bitcoin like the email campaign claims. There's a lot in this email campaign. I want to verify whether this is true. Where is it again? I closed it. I want to verify if this is true. They've given us the shit. So why don't we dig in and find out whether it's real shit or it's just shit? Hexy, I remember a guy I knew bought an ASIC miner for ETH, turned it into a solo mining, hit and won the mining reward, paid off his miner plus profit in a week. It's a lucky hit, right? It happens occasionally, solo mining, but many times you mine for nothing. Yes. So I will say this, when I bought my M1 Max, I did run a miner on it for a while because this was the first Apple Silicon. And I was like, well, hold on a second. I could use that as a Bitcoin miner. And I think in about maybe 8 months usage on and off, I'd mined about $30 worth of Bitcoin. So the idea of using lousy, and I don't know how much terahash compute power an M1 Max gave. By the way, I've got an M5 now. Maybe I should try that again. Maybe I should try the same project again. I used a little miner called Mac Miner, funnily enough. I don't even know what the terahash I was receiving or what my computer gave me in terms of hash power. But yeah, over the course of and how do I know I earned that much? Because I think that was the minimum to withdraw. And as soon as I hit that minimum, I just withdrew it and stopped doing it. That's leaving the machine on nearly all the time, right? I was living in New Zealand, so I was living in a rental and paying rent and house. So there's no problem using the power is what I'm saying. But I just wanted to see. So today on the stream, I want to find out. It was so simple. It was so simple. It was so simple. So Pigeon, how you doing, man? Yeah, I just want to find out. I want to learn first of all, what a terahash is. Then I want to learn how to do this blockchain analysis and find out whether they're lying to us or whether this did happen. That is the plan. Mrs. Cliff of Cannabis. Not familiar with the subject, but every broadcaster deserves love. Thank you. And you gifted me a can. I'm going to give you some love right now. Yo, Miss Pliff for Cannabis. Did you just join me from the Pilled platform? I think you did. And to that, I will say something back to you. I'm giving you some love back. I want you to come on over to this. I'm going to do this in the Pilled platform. I'm going to do this in the Pilled platform. Where are you? Pilled. Here we go. Mr. Spliff. Gotcha. I'm not sure what that's in reference to, but there is a link in Pilled right now. That is a referral link to bring you across to a platform called Valora.tv. Now, hold on before you run around and say, I don't want to go there. Use the referral, sign up, grab your handle, Mr. Spliff for Cannabis. You want that handle? You want that handle on Valora? You don't even know what Valora is right now. Okay, you got here second. Yo, Jake, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. Thanks, man. You know what, Miss Spliff from Cannabis Machine? You know you want that handle. Go and grab it on Valora. Park it. Let it sit there for a while. And later on, when Valora's popping and everyone's over there streaming, you can come back and go, I got my handle ages ago because of that dickhead. That Gives a Minute dickhead told me to do it, and he gave me a referral. I'm not sure what the referral does for you or for me, but at least you do it. You park it, you hold it, you love it. You said everybody deserves love. I'm giving it right back to you. I'm loving you back. Go and grab it, nab it. Right now, Valora has just ticked over the 2,000 user mark. 2,000 users on the platform. Now you might say, fuck off. Not going over there for that small amount of people.
I love it. I love it too.
Use the hole,
fill the
bridge
hole,
the hole, or fill the hole.
I'll tell you this. When was the best time to buy Bitcoin? When nobody was buying it, right? When was the best time to go to
mow the lawn and go fishing?
Yo, Jake, chill out on that, man. When was the best time to go to Valora TV? Right now, when there's less people over there. Get down with it, man. 2,000 and counting, you know.
Don't do that again.
All these alerts are coming through Valora. By the way, I got some cool stuff coming. Look at my chat overlay. It's working perfectly. I'm going to show that to you one day. Not ready yet, but I'm stoked. I just want to gangbang.
I love it.
Gangbang.
Gangbang.
This is gangbang. 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 Gangbang.
I just want to gangbang, basically. Anyway, what I'm going to do perfect. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go and grab myself a coffee, come back, and we are going to learn about terahash.
You know what I'm talking about?
You know what I'm talking about. We're going to learn about terahash.
Person, woman, man, camera, TV.
Those are all things. We're going to learn about terahash. We're going to learn about how to do chain analysis, and we're going to verify that this did or did not happen.
Excuse me.
Hunters don't give a fuck what he says to the camera. They only care about the band. When do we tell him?
By the
Tell
way,
him now?
it should be.
Too early?
By the way, on my alerts that I'm very, very close to rolling out, here it is again. You get a little sneaky tiki. On my alerts, that's almost ready to roll. I've got queuing, so you don't back these up over the top of each other like that. Although that was a good feature. I don't know. Anyway, I'm excited because this is almost ready to roll out. So yeah, just because you can trigger all the alerts at the same time, Jake, probably shouldn't. Just saying. Sorry. Have your laugh. Get it over with. Get it done. Have some fun. We came here to have a little fun. And then stop.
Those Italians, I love the Italians.
I love the Italians. I'll be back, brother. Followed. Great energy. I'll grab that for at one point. Didn't see it. Yeah, no worries. I'll give it to you again. I've given it to you again, Mr. Spliff. It's right there in the pilled chat. Bam, bam, bam. Chat that, ship that, link that. All you got to do is, like I said, go there, sign up, park it, wait a little while. People get...
It's because we suck.
Everyone gets G'd up. They want to use it. They want to come over there. When they do, they can't get your handle because you've already got
I don't know what's going to work, but something's going to fucking work.
Something's going to have to work. We're talking about Bitcoin today. I can see it. You got it. Okay, perfect. You can't see it. What? No links in the Valora chat? What the hell? Why can't you see it?
You're tearing me apart, Lisa!
You're tearing me apart, Lisa. I just put it at you. Can't I post a link in the pill chat? Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. DM me. Yeah, you got a DM feature on Pilled? I don't know about Pilled. Oh, there's a messenger feature. There we go. Search messages. General group. I'm going to send you a message. Ah, wait, how do I find your handle? Hold on a second. I don't want to get me out of the messenger feature. Okay. I'm going to go back to Pilled. Your handle, Mr. Spliff of Cannabis. Again, I don't know what that is in reference to. Where else should we go? Where is my channel?
Comfy is still in the rag ground, all the way up there.
Comfy is still in the rag ground, all the way up there. Whatever the hell he's saying. Your handle is... I can DM you from...
It's quite unique in itself, quite similar to other NFT sites.
Quite similar. Pill doesn't overlay all that chat overlay on streaming platforms most of the time. It will on... No! It will on mine. I've got a chat overlay of my own coming, which is going to have Pilled. Not yet, though. I just want to send you a message. I got a messenger. Comment action. What? Search. Oh, here we go. Direct message. Look up. Start typing. Mr. Spliff.
We see you gives it a minute.
We see you. We see you. I found you. Type message. Check this out. Bam! I just DM'd you. Bam! Right into the stratosphere. Straight down your gob. I gave it to you, Mr. Spliff. I shoved it in. Shit. I'm a ganja guy. Tech, soil, health, and such in the cannabis industry. Okay. That's illegal in Australia. I don't know what you're talking about. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, though. I am going to go out, grab myself a coffee and a muffin, come back, and we're going to learn about TerraHash. We're going to use AI. We're going to use ChatGPT, even though it lies to me all the time. Kind of like using it on stream. I don't use it much for anything else anymore. It's too many times it's done me wrong. Copilot, on the other hand, Copilot's fine. So at this stage, we're going to come right back. I'll be back. I'm going to give you a surfing video from a few days ago of me out there in the ocean. Brand new GoPro Mission 1 Pros, set to the wrong settings, but still good footage, fun footage. What was that noise? pretty windy out there. I don't know. It could be the house settling. Hey, if I'm not back in time, you're going to see a blowfly doing aerobics on a piece of styrofoam. Yes, you will.
Good morning. GoPro Mission 1 Pro by 2. I guess this is going to be a little test. First of all, I'm not surfing very well, so forget all the surfing. Let's just focus on the GoPros. GoPro have suggested that the floaty for the 13 does not fit the Mission 1 Pro, and it does, but it also doesn't. So what I've done to make it fit, I took a Stanley knife or a box cutter and sliced off some parts and shoved it in. Excuse me. Forget that, close out. Yeah, I shoved it in after cutting off a few pieces. Now that obviously makes the thing less buoyant. So the question is, the Mission 1 Pro is heavier than the 13. After you've cut some of the foam off, will this thing still float? So how about we find out? I'm a little frightened to do this. Oh, shit. Uh-oh! Can you see that? Hasn't floated yet. Hasn't floated, hasn't surfaced yet. There it is. Wow, that took a long time to come back to the surface. So the answer to the test is yes, it does float, but not as well. So if you get a hefty wipeout in whitewater, you might want to wait a while and just keep an eye on where you left it last. You will see it, but it'll take a long time.
All right, before we get going, I'm going to have to put this on. Need myself a Heatbit here. It's getting pretty cold. It's winter, though. It's supposed to be cold. Hey, Siri, what's the temperature?
It's 16 degrees right now.
It's not cold, really. It's 16. Feels colder than that, though. Don't have myself a Heatbit, though. That's probably why. Hey, Siri, what's the feels like temperature?
It currently feels like 13 degrees Celsius.
How do you know what it feels like? I just want to tell you how it feels. All right, back to it. Coffee ready for consumption. So the first thing that I think we should do is establish the parameters. So I don't know. Oh, first of all, I'm going to bring up ChatGPT Machina. ChatGPT. All right, so I don't know what a terahash is. So initial question. In relation to BTC mining, what is a TH? Terahash. This will be a good starting point. You'd think. In Bitcoin mining, TH stands for terahash, which is a measure of hash rate, how many cryptographic hash calculations a miner can perform every second. Here's the scale. 1 hash equals 1 hash per second. 1 kilohash equals 1,000 hashes per second. 1 million hashes, 1 mega, 1. I just went with kilohash, right? I'm assuming that's kilohash. 1 millihash is 1 million. 1 gigahash, 1 billion. 1 terahash is 1 trillion hashes per second. Dude, it's measured up to 1 pillahash and 1 hash. What is a hash? A hash is the output of the Bitcoin SHA-256 algorithm. Miners repeatedly hash slightly different versions of a candidate block, hoping to find one whose hash is below the network's current target. That is the mining difficulty. Think of it like buying lottery tickets. Exactly right. This is Hexy. You said this word for word before. Each hash is 1 lottery ticket. The more hashes you can generate each second, the more chances you have to find the winning ticket or to mine the block. For example, if a miner advertises 100 terahashes, it means it performs 100 times 1 trillion equals 100 trillion hashes every second. That is that many zeros per second. Why terahash matters? A miner's revenue is roughly proportional to its share of the total network hash rate. For example, your miner of 100 terahashes, Bitcoin network, 1 e-hash equals 1 million terahashes. Your share would be 100 divided by 1 million equals 0.0001. In reality, the Bitcoin network is currently well over 1 terahash. I'm assuming E, I'm not sure. So a 100 terahash miner represents a tiny fraction. Okay, so that's established those parameters. So then let's just say, so for comparison sake, if I were to try mining on a, let's use this current model, M5 Max with 64 gig of RAM, what would the hash rate likely be closest to? And I'm going to say ballpark is fine. The answer, extremely low compared to a real ASIC miner. The M5 Max, I assume you meant M5 Max rather than MZX, has a very powerful CPU and GPU, but Bitcoin mining uses SHA-256, which is exactly the kind of workload that dedicated ASIC miners are built for. Apple's GPU-CPU architecture isn't optimized. A rough ballpark. The M5 Max CPU, Max GPU is the one I've got here. Perhaps a few hundred mega hashes to around 1 gigahash. So about a gigahash. The best case, 0.5 to 2 gigahash per second. So well and truly short of a terahash. So put it another way, if your M5 Max managed 1 gigahash, 1 terahash equals 1,000 gigahashes. So what they're saying here very clearly is the most spec'd up MacBook Pro is very, very inefficient at generating Bitcoin hashes. However, a product like this is already giving you 1.2 terahashes per second. So what I'm saying, and I'm not advocating for this brand, I'm not referring this brand, I'm not endorsing, I don't own one. I looked at getting one once and then I decided, actually I looked at getting a heater for this winter and I just forgot about it. So what I'm seeing here is that if you did want to buy an air purifier, you might as well get one that mines Bitcoin. It's almost a no-brainer. If you're going to buy one, might as well get one that mines Bitcoin. If you're going to buy it just for mining Bitcoin, you're better off just buying the Bitcoin and holding it. Then again, not that expensive, 180 US, so about 260 Australian if you wanted to get them out down under. So with that in mind, let's go back to the GPT machine and then we're going to spin through wait. Heatbit. How does it know I'm talking about Heatbit? What the hell? Compared to the Heatbits claimed, I didn't even mention Heatbit. What the fuck? Did I mention Heatbit? I began this conversation with in relation to Bitcoin mining. Oh, wait, I used ChatGPT to generate my thumbnail for this stream. Wow, man, it pulled back into that. Smart little piece of technology. But anyway, compared to the Heatbit claimed 1.2 terahash, your Mac would be around 1/1200th of the hash rate. Why is the difference so huge? It's because an ASIC is literally a chip whose only job is to compute the SHA-256 as fast as efficiently as possible. Hexy, I wonder if you can't set it up for pool mining. Well, by the way, that's what I did do when I mined using Mac Miner. It was using a pool for sure. Yeah, you can, and I'm probably going to do it with this M5. Might as well try it, right? Not today though. So anyway, so then okay. So let's begin a new chat, and I'm going to say, I'm going to feed it in this email, right? I'm going to feed this into it. I'm going to say, so Heatbit last night issued an email with this claim. Now I'm going to literally just pump the claim into it. I'm going to copy paste. I'll grab all the texters, paste that shizzle in. I'll go down to the end of the message. Put it all in there. We've read it already. We don't need to read it again. So that's all in there. I'm going to then drop a new start and say, can you walk me through the entire process of chain analysis to verify these claims? Work on the assumption I am a 100% noob and have never done a deep dive on a blockchain and literally have no idea where to begin. To be truthful, I don't actually know where to begin. I don't know what the Bitcoin. So you got Etherscan for Ethereum. What's the Bitcoin chain block explorer? I don't even know. I wonder if someone has made an air conditioner or mini split that can mine Bitcoin. I'm sure they have, dude. I'm sure they have. So let's put that in and see what it says. Absolutely. This is a fantastic exercise because it teaches you how Bitcoin works without trusting anyone's marketing. By the end, you'll know how to independently verify almost everything in that email. The interesting part is this. Every sentence in that email is either objectively verifiable, partially verifiable, or impossible to verify. What? Wait, you just said 3 different things. What the fuck? Get out of there, injustice. Every sentence in that email is either objectively verifiable, partially verifiable, or impossible to verify. Wow. That's exactly what blockchain analysis is for. Our goal, we want to determine whether the story is true. Specifically, we want to answer these questions. Did block 957386 actually exist? That's a good starting point, right? Was it worth 3.125 Bitcoin? Was it mined by a miner producing roughly 1 terahash? Was it mined through a solo mining pool? These are all verifiable questions that I feel like by the way, I'm not saying Heatbit have made this up, right? I'm not saying that they're lying. But if they aren't there some guidelines, like advertising guidelines that businesses have to operate underneath? You can't just go making shit up, right? Well, we don't know yet, but that's what we're doing. That's what we're finding out. Can a 1.2 terahash Heatbit BitAir realistically do the same thing? Yeah, because they didn't claim that it did. Is this marketing technically true? Is the marketing potentially misleading? Notice something? We're not trying to prove Heatbit wrong. I am. I don't know about you, ChatGPT. I'm definitely trying to do that. We're trying to prove or disprove each claim individually. That's how blockchain investigators think. Well, I'm not one of those, so that's why I'm not thinking correctly. I never do. I never have. I can't. I won't. Step 1. Understand what we're looking at. Imagine Bitcoin as one giant spreadsheet that is the blockchain. Every 10 minutes roughly, a new page gets added. Those pages are called blocks. They are numbered 957384, 957385, etc. 957386 is the one that Heatbit mentions. Every block contains thousands of transactions, the miner who found the block, the reward, and lots of cryptographic data. That blockchain is public. That's when they say every transaction is verifiable. Yes, it is. You can go through and see every transaction. The trouble is, or not the trouble, but the distinguishing factor is unless you know who owns the wallet, you have no tangible link to anyone real at all. You just see that the transaction happened and then you see it goes to a wallet. Unless someone's told you that, hey, that's my wallet, then you don't know whose wallet belongs it to. The blockchain is public. Everyone can inspect it. So that was step 1, understanding what the blockchain is. Step 2, skis, find the block. The first stop is a blockchain explorer. So I know about this, but like I said, Etherscan and PulseChain, they all have their own block explorer. Think of it like Google for Bitcoin. Popular ones include mempool.space, Blockstream Explorer. I have heard of Blockstream. BTC.com, which incidentally is not related to Bitcoin, not owned by Bitcoin. That's funny. Blockchain.com. Let's use mempool because it is clean and extremely detailed. Search for 957386. Are we supposed to do this right now? Are we doing this right now? I guess we are. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Mempool.space. Mempool.space. We'll make this large so that I was going to call you cunts. I kind of did. Make it large so all you cunts can see. By the way, that looks cool, right? And by the way, I was using that as an endearment term. You know, my cunts, the good cunts. Okay, so what are we seeing here? We got green blocks on the left, blue blocks on the right. Okay, a lot of cool, very beautifully generated graphics here. I guess this is the block forming, right? Very Matrix-esque. Okay, looks nice. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at, but it looks nice. So go back here, search for 957386. Okay. So is there a search feature? Here we go. Explore the full Bitcoin ecosystem. I just want to search for the block. Block height, yes. What? Didn't do anything. There we go. Block 957386. So there is the hash. Timestamped 6 days ago on the 10th of the 7th. So immediately, this email rings incorrect. On the 12th of July, first of all, it was on the 10th of July at 1 p.m. Now, is there anywhere on the planet that 1 p.m. on the 10th of July could be the 12th of July? I'm going to ask the GPT machine that exact question. I'll ask it in a new tab skins. I'll just ask it here. Okay, so the very first thing when searching that block is that it occurred on the 10th, on the 10th July at, I better get these numbers exact, right? I'll just punch it in. Yet the email claims it to have happened on the I'm going to type the twice. Happened on the 12th July. Is there any place on Earth where could be, in fact, the 12th, given time zones and stuff? There we go. Let's see what it says. It said, great catch. This is exactly the kind of thing a blockchain investigator should notice instead of glossing over. The short answer is no. There is nowhere on Earth where the time of 1 p.m. or 1:42 p.m. on the 10th could be the July 12th because of time zones. Here's why. Time zones can only shift a date by around about 1 day. The world's time zones currently range from approximately Baker Island UTC -12 and UTC +14 Kiritimati Line Islands. That's a maximum difference of 26 hours. So if a timestamp is 1:42 at UTC at the 10th of the 7th, then the local dates around the world would be approximately Sydney would be 23:11 p.m. on the same day. New Zealand would be 1:42 a.m. the day after, the 11th, and then UTC +14 hours would be 3 o'clock a.m. the day after. Even at the furthest east time zone on Earth, it's still only July 11. There is simply no legal time zone that will make it July 12. Does that mean Heatbit lied? Not necessarily, but it is a discrepancy that deserves investigation. There are a few possibilities. Most likely the email is mistaken. I mean, that could be it. They just typed it wrong, you know? You typed it wrong. Where is the email again? I mean, that seems like something simple to get right, though. If you're typing this shit, you've got the hash. Like, how would you get that wrong? Why would you get that wrong? Okay. The email is mistaken. Someone in marketing may simply have written July 12 instead of July 10. They should get fired. Not really. This happens more often than you'd think. You don't know how often I think that would happen, though. Possibility 2, they're referring to something else. What could they refer to, though? Sometimes people refer to when the news broke, when the mining pool announced it, when they noticed it, when they wrote the blog post, rather than when the block was actually mined. No, kind of says on the 12th of July, a single chip Bitcoin miner running at roughly 1 terahash found the block. Doesn't say on the 12th of July we heard about that. It says that's when it happened. If that's the case, the wording is sloppy because they literally wrote exactly what I said. The sentence strongly implies the block itself was found on July 12. Possibility 3, they referenced the wrong block. Maybe, yeah. That would be a big fuck up though, right? Because if they referenced the wrong block, then how do they claim these screenshots and that it was mined at 1 terahash? How do they know that? We needed to see if another 1 terahash miracle happened around July 12. Imagine 2 of them on the same day. Imagine the same person. This is exactly how investigators work. Notice what you just did. Read the claim, checked the blockchain, found the discrepancy. Ask whether there's an innocent explanation before concluding. No, I've already concluded that they're lying. That's the difference between ChatGPT. ChatGPT and all of these AIs will give you the sugar-coated version. I'm saying that they lied. Immediately I'm saying that they lied. This is a marketing plan that is going to include not just this lie, there'll be others as we go through, I'm sure of it. But then the question will be, well, do they have to act under certain guidelines? Can they lie in marketing? And the answer will be yes, they can. We see it all the time, right? Too many people jump straight to the scam or it's a fine. I didn't say that. It's better to explore the evidence. Exactly. If I were making this into a live stream, you're not, I am. Okay. That's a much stronger position than saying Heatbit is wrong. Okay. Okay, well, I am live streaming this already. Wait. So let's go back up. Okay, so where else should we go? So that was step. Fuck, we've only done step 1. Step 2, find the block. Okay. Verify the reward. Step 3. Heatbit says the reward was 3.125 Bitcoin. Open the block. You'll see something like Coinbase transaction. Okay, let's open the block. There is the hash. Total fees, 0.006 Bitcoin. Weight, transaction. So there was 6,586 transactions. Wait, expected block and actual block. What does that mean? Why? A block audit. A block audit visually compares mempool's expected block to the actual block for a particular block height. How is this expected block determined? Mempool monitors its views of the mempool and runs a reimplementation of the Bitcore transaction selection algorithm, blah, bling, blong, blang, blong, blang. At the moment a new block is mined, mempool saves a snapshot of its projected block template. We call this snapshot the expected block. Oh, this is when all the other miners verify it, right? When details for an expected block and actual block are available, we compare them. The purpose of the block audit is to deduce when miners intentionally include or exclude transactions from blocks they mine. Wow, that's interesting. So they can run that back? Were they mining Bitcoin Cash? Ooh, interesting. Doesn't say that. I mean, it's the ticker symbol's BTC. What's the ticker for Bitcoin Cash? Okay, so that explains why there's an expected block versus an actual block. We bumped off that? Yeah. Okay, cool. We're still good. So, okay, so that's the amount of transactions on that block. Coinbase newly generated coins. There is one here, a transaction for 3.13 Bitcoin. Interesting. There's 2 transactions here that received a Bitcoin reward. This one here, 3.13 Bitcoin. Multi-sigs. Now I'm getting a little lost. These are all the dollar amounts. So multiple people received a reward. Can we view these in... Let's check that out first. So this is your winning guy, right? This is the one that did happen. The timestamp is now it's the 11th. Okay, so 5 days ago now. The miner is Foundry USA. So hold on a sec. The timing has changed. So the block was started. It takes a data miner block. Is that what I'm hearing? It takes an entire day to mine a block. 957488. That's not the same block though. 957386. 957488. 957489. Why have we jumped forward? And why is there another one here for 3 Bitcoin? Okay, I think I've fucked up. Let's go back to the block that we know it is, 957386. 957386. Lightning channel? Did I not go straight to 957386? Block height. 957386. Okay, these are all the pools. FT pool, F2 pool, bitcoin.com, Foundry. So there's the Foundry one. Every 10 minutes, roughly, a block is mined. So yeah, I kind of thought that was a bit quicker than that. So what does this mean? Why are we seeing... This is the next blocks, right? These are all different times. No, they're not. 1342, 46 second, 46 second. This is every second. This is the same second. These are all... This doesn't make any sense. Well, it probably does to people, but not to me. But so what I'm saying is all of these transactions are the people searching to complete the hash, right? To make it, to find the block. And so this one here of 3.13, is that the amount that they said? 3.125, 3.130. I'm assuming this is the one that they're talking about. Let's open it up in a new tab, Skins. I'm assuming this is what they're talking about, but it wasn't confirmed until... Oh, this is just their address. Yo, Blueskis, how you doing, Blueskis? I've rumpilled. This is just their address. My bad. I didn't mean to do that. This transaction... Oh, no, I clicked on this arrow before, didn't I? The arrow takes you to the transaction. And this is what confused me because it's now a different day here. So they paid $1.15 and returned about 180 grand. I'm good too. Yeah, thanks. I'm good. I am good. Okay, so we'll go back to this. We'll go back to the block and I'll go back to the GPT machine and say, open the block. Okay, on this page, let's open the hash. There is the block. There, okay, well, there it is. I just had to click on it. You idiot. So hang on, what happened before? When I searched for it, it came up. Fuck, did that again. I saw it for a second, but let's just go back to this again. What was it again? 957,386. When you go 957,386 and search, I'm not sure what these transactions below it are. These are, I'm assuming these are all the ones that are fighting to find the block. But then if you click the block, let's compare. Is this the transaction starts? Wait, no, that's not the transaction. That's the wallet. So let's keep this wallet. Sorry, let's keep, is this opening up the wallet or the transaction? Okay, this is the wallet address. 36. So this is the one that we assume, yeah, by clicking that. Okay, so that's linked to that. So then let's go back to the block itself, click it. Here we see subsidy and fees, 3.13 Bitcoin, 200 grand. And the hash, I'm just trying to work out. So if we open this hash up, so who earned it? I mean, again, it says it here, 3.13. So it's this address. They've got 12,000 Bitcoin in their wallet. Fuck me. Jesus. What's that worth in USD? 1.2 mil. Damn, dude. Who owns this address? And how can we hack it? I'm being silly, but that's a lot of money. So what we've discovered here is it looks legitimate. I'm going to go back to the GPT machine. Okay, yeah. Yeah, this is the part I want to work out. Find out who mined it. This is where things get fun. Every block has a Coinbase transaction. Not Coinbase the exchange, a Coinbase transaction. A Coinbase transaction, the first transaction inside every block. Okay, so you'll see something like, so without getting too confused, let's find that first transaction. This is just their address. This is the let's put this in front of this because this is just their wallet address. This is the Coinbase newly generated coins. Okay, I get it. So this transaction here, this big block of numbers includes these two transactions. The initial Coinbase, so that not the exchange, the initial generated coin generated 0.0000546 Bitcoin, and then the block was found and it generated that amount of return. Okay, that makes sense. And there's the totes there. On Coin Exchange, there's a Reddit post about the solo mining of 3.13. Okay. Yeah, 3.13. Right. It's right there. Okay. So, okay. We're learning something here. Pools often leave a message. Examples, Foundry USA, Antpool, FT Pool, Mara. So we're trying to work out whether this was done in a pool. So let's click on that. That just changes it to sats. Okay. So it was, here we go. I'll screenshot this. Whoops, not screenshot. Copy paste to this. And I'll put that into the GPT machine. When clicking the block, we see this. I got to sneeze. Excuse me. Yachi mama. I'm snorting everywhere. Perfect. You've just stumbled across one of the first. What on earth am I looking at? Okay. First, what is a Coinbase transaction? Despite the name, it has nothing to do with the Coinbase exchange. The Coinbase transaction is simply the first transaction in every Bitcoin block. Its job is to create the new Bitcoin, the block subsidy, collect the transaction fees, and pay the miner. Every block has exactly one of these. Let's decode yours. Here it is. This tells us we're looking at the special transaction that created the reward. This strange gibberish, there, I didn't realize what that was. That's expected. That field is called the Coinbase input. Unlike normal transactions, a Coinbase transaction has no real input because the Bitcoins are being created from nothing. Imaginary internet money. Bitcoin allows miners to place arbitrary data in this field. Arbitrary? Okay. Mining pools often insert things such as yeah, okay. In your case, we can already see BTC COM 956. That's a huge clue. What does it mean? This almost certainly means the block was mined by BTC COM pool. Uh-oh, it wasn't a pool. BTC.com embeds its name into the Coinbase transaction. This is how blockchain explorers identify mining pools. Bow! So the email did say it wasn't an industrial mining farm. It was one compact miner connected to a solo mining pool. Solo pool? Solo pool. Solo pool. Aren't they conflicting terms? Mining solo or you're in a pool. They're two different phrases, right? So already we're discovering something interesting. Heatbit says connected to a solo mining pool, but the block itself appears to contain BTC COM. That deserves investigation. It doesn't prove Heatbit wrong yet. There could be an explanation, but it definitely raises a question. The next line. Let's go back to that next line. Yeah, because there's BTC COM. These lines, OP return. Where did we see that? That's the hash. Yeah. Taka. 317J and the 0.0000546. Yeah. This is one output. It received that amount of Bitcoin, 546 Satoshis, a small payment related to the mining process. Next, 3.13 Bitcoin. This is now we're talking. This is where almost all the money went. Notice the amount, 3.13 Bitcoin. Remember, Heatbit said 3.125. Why the difference? Because 3.125 is the block subsidy plus transaction fees equals 3.13. Exactly what we're seeing. That checks out perfectly. Okay. Then we have OP return. So that did appear 3 times, didn't it? OP return. Yeah, 4 times. Yeah. These outputs don't send money. Instead, they store tiny pieces of data inside the blockchain. Think of them as sticky notes. For example, OP return core, probably data from another protocol that piggybanks on Bitcoin. Same with RSK block. Are they in there though? Oh yeah, core. So they're saying it was not one big mining warehouse industrial organization. It was a solo miner in a pool. You think that's okay? Okay. These are completely normal. They're not part of the mining reward. So what have we verified? Observation. Coinbase transaction exists. That's normal. Reward paid 3.13 Bitcoin. Subsidy, that is the reward and the subsidy. The fees, dude, they paid a lot in fees. Holy shit. BTC COM appears, suggesting BTC COM pool. Here's what I'd do next. The big mystery is this. The email claims a 1 terahash miner connected to a solo mining pool. The Coinbase transaction appears to advertise BTC COM, which is a large mining pool rather than a solo mining pool. The discrepancy is worth digging into carefully. There are a few possibilities. The block explorer is attributing the block to BTC COM because of the Coinbase tag. Yes. The Coinbase data was crafted in an unusual way. The email is referring to a different aspect of the mining process. These are possibilities. Or the marketing material has mixed up details. The next step I'd take is to inspect the block on multiple explorers. For example, mempool space, that's the one we just did, Blockstream Explorer, and BTC COM itself. Hexy, the problem with pool mining is you share the rewards with the pool, but then they all share the rewards with you. Right. They all share their rewards. If they all independently identified as BTC COM, that would be strong evidence against a solo pool claim. If they disagree, then we found an even more interesting rabbit hole. Okay, well, let's do that. Let's go to Blockstream Explorer and verify this exact block. 957386. Bitcoin Explorer, blockstream.info. Let's verify 957386. 957386. 957386. Let's try to find. There's the Coinbase transaction. Can we open that up? Nope. Can we click the details and bring it down? Here we go. Do we see BTC.com? I guess I just want to search for BTC.com. Didn't come up. Okay, well, let's just grab all this. Jabbity jibbity zoop zap. Get off their dictionary. I'm going to put this into the GPT and say, this from Blockchain Explorer, Blockstream Explorer. Am I on that? Yeah, I didn't put Blockchain Explorer, Blockstream. Let's see. See what it deciphers with that. Just chuck all that in there and see what it does. Excellent. This is much stronger evidence than the first Explorer view because Blockstream is showing us the raw Bitcoin data. Now we can start separating what the blockchain proves from what Heatbit claims. There's a very interesting discovery here. Let's go through it. The timestamp discrepancy is confirmed. Blockstream says, yeah, at 1:42 p.m. on the 10th, Blockstream is displaying it in your selected time zone, not necessarily UTC. Let's convert it. It's minus 10 hours. A block was mined on July 10 at 3:42 UTC, which again, Heatbit email says on July 12. It's a 2-day error. Okay. The Coinbase script reveals something very important. This line, script sig ASM blah, blah, blah. Let's decode the ASCII part. Hex is ASCII. Hex to ASCII. BTC.com 956. Converting this is the shit that but by the way, all this stuff like the SHA-256 and all of these hex transactions, not hex cryptocurrency, all this stuff I've had to discover by vibe coding my chat overlay. It's coming up soon, and having to auth, like OAuth, and get my, client ID and client secret and then run these through terminal and generate a hash and generate a token store and I've been doing all this without even knowing what the hell it is. I'm not earning Bitcoin doing it. I'm earning knowledge. So I kind of understand what this said. Decoding the ASCII hex. This is a hex code right here. Converting it to ASCII does become BTC.com. That is the minus. That is called the Coinbase. So there we go. There's two versions of that now. Here we have the BTC.com, which strongly indicates Bitcoin.com mined this block. This is the first major conflict with the Heatbit email. A single chip Bitcoin miner running at roughly 1 terahash found Bitcoin block connected to a solo mining pool, but the blockchain says Coinbase tag, and that's the second time we've seen that. BTC.com 956. This is a major conventional mining pool, not a small detail. A normal pool works like this. Thousands of miners, Bitcoin.com finds block, rewards like what you said, Hexy. A solo pool works like this. Your tiny miner, solo CK pool, finds block, you get the reward. Completely different. Could the Coinbase tag be misleading? Yes. This is where we need to be careful. The Coinbase message is not cryptographically authenticated. A miner can literally write anything in there. You see this? A miner can literally write anything in there. Now, I'll just stop for a second and say, that's why it's a little concerning. These subtle intricacies with Bitcoin, with mutable code that can be changed, is concerning, right? If a miner can just write anything in, What's the point of hashing it all? What's the point of using all this compute power to verify shit if at some point a human can just go in and change it? Now, I don't understand all of these details, but this one, and again, the result of this isn't massive, right? Like this doesn't change a great deal of anything, but it's an illustration. If a miner can go in there and annotate however they want, and it's not verifiable and it's not authenticated, then what's to stop them doing that shit wherever they damn well please in this chain? Hexy, a friend of mine used to set up an air conditioning in cargo containers that were set up on oil well sites. It was full of computer racks for mining. The oil wells burn off the natural gas. Interesting. I think I know where that's going. You got truncated there on the end of that message, but okay, so someone could put whatever they want in there. However, mining pools almost universally use their own tags because explorers identify them from it. Reputation matters. Pool software inserts it automatically. So while not mathematically proof, it is extremely strong evidence. Okay, and the rewards check out. Yeah, the output's the same. Okay. The interesting OP return data. You got core, sys5, and risk block. They're not related to mining. They're just applications writing data into Bitcoin. The interesting one, risk block, it's root stock. I root that stock. A Bitcoin sidechain. Okay. Current evidence scorecard. Let's update the investigation. Heatbit claim, blah, blah, true is block. The block is true. The reward's true. Happened on July 12th. Nope. Happened on July 10. Single chip miner found it. Not proven. 1 terahash per second. Not on chain. Solo mining pool contradicted by Bitcoin Coinbase tag. Let's try the BTC.com then. Let's try it before we move on. Before we move on, they burn off the natural gas to get rid of it and get large EPA fines for doing it, but get reduced fines for using it for work, so they get natural gas for free and run generators. Wow. Your friend did that? Okay, interesting. How much Bitcoin did he find? Did he discover? Before we move on, let's check it on BTC.com too. So I'm going to go to BTC.com. You would think this is related to Bitcoin, but it's not. What the fuck? Someone's posted the white paper here though. I thought they said check it on BTC.com. Triangulate. BTC.com doesn't appear to go to a block explorer though. This is the white paper, which I have read, by the way. Didn't really understand it. It's actually not that long a read, right? For changing the world, the Bitcoin white paper, it's not that long a read. You should read it one time. I mean, I'm not going to do it now, and that's not what I wanted to. BTC.com block explorer. Yeah, pretty interesting read. I read it when I was living in New Zealand. Hello. That is so distracting, but see this? Are you old enough for this spice? Hey there, just making sure you're of age. This is the Brave browser. I say, yes, I'm legal. As long as it's not nude. No, it's okay. It's not nude. So we need BTC network block, btc.network. Blockchain.com. btcscan.org. Let's get rid of the HTTP. btc.com block explorer. That should bring it up, surely. He just worked for the guy setting up the shipping containers with air conditioners. Bitcoin was $7,000 per coin. Man, if we go back to those days, hell yeah. Okay, so blockchain, btc.network or blockchain.com. Let's just go to this one. Bitcoin Block Explorer, btc.com network. Okay, let's search for this block. What was it again? 956386? 957386. 957386. Let me just check that was true. 957386er. Yes. Okay. Block reward. There it is. 3.13 Bitcoin. This is laid out better, isn't it? A lot clearer for dum-dums like me. Yeah, this is laid out way clearer. Can we click on these? Confirmed in block. Coinbase reward. Outputs. OP return. I guess we should look into this one, right? The big one. They're not clickable? $864 confirmations. Unknown Coinbase reward, subsidy fees. Okay, I don't see the these aren't clickable to open up and confirm. Merkle root, OP return. If we can't open those up and explore them, what's the point of listing them? What is that? That just copies it, right? Yeah, I don't want to do that. Confirmed in block 957386. We've already done that. Transactions, fullness. Block anatomy. Transactions. Yeah, okay, so it doesn't. Raw transaction. I wonder if the transaction gives you. I'll copy pasta all this in and just see what it says. This from BTC Network. This from BTC.network. See what it says. I couldn't make out. I was looking for BTC.com. Excellent. This is a really useful cross-check because BTC Network has given us the raw transaction with some extra metadata. Now we can tighten the investigation. The short version. BTC Network confirms everything Blockstream showed. It does not independently prove BTC.com mined it, but it strengthens the evidence that the Heatbit email has some inconsistencies. The timestamp discrepancy is still there. Those are identical. Okay, so that still stands. The Coinbase data, BTC Network gives the raw Coinbase, yeah. The readable sections, hex code. BTC.com again. Seriously? There we go. I couldn't see it because it had to decode the hex, right? So it is BTCom 956. So there's 3 explorers showing. So it definitely came from the important nuance. Does BTCcom 956 prove Bitcoin.com mined it? This is where we need to be precise. The Coinbase message is not a signature. It's just text. A miner could write. Yeah, we know that. But 3 of them have done it. Why would 3 of them do it? The reward is slightly interesting. BTC Network says Coinbase reward, but the output we see difference is that much Bitcoin. That's the first output. Yeah. Breakdown. Yeah. Hexy, I knew about Bitcoin when it was $300 per coin. Told some friends to buy some, but I was hand to mouth at the time. Could not even spare 300. Damn, dude. My story is similar, but I can't remember what the price was, but it was in 2011. No, 2012. Yeah. My partner and I at the time, I had some. I was hanging out with some people that were into Bitcoin. One person in particular was heavily into it. And at a Christmas Day party, New Year's Day, would have been Christmas. No, it wouldn't have been at his house at Christmas. It was around the holiday period in 2012. And he's like, "Hey, Ben, and you got any Bitcoin?" And I was like, "No, I've heard about it." He's like, "You should get some, man. I'm all in on it." Hey, and I'm like, "Okay." And I remember coming home and telling my partner about it, and we sat down. We had a studio where we worked together. She was behind me, and I was here. She's a photographer as well, and we're editing. And she came and sat next to me, and we read all about Bitcoin. and there was an article where it talked about it was being used to buy drugs, and that's when both of us went, it's on the deep web and the dark net, and I was like, I don't know, man, it seems a bit shady, hey. And again, we just didn't have the disposable money at the time, but we were doing pretty well, but we just made a decision. At that point, we made a decision that's not for us. And then it was fast forward to 2019 when I was here and D-Live had died, and I'd cashed out my Lino into about 30K worth. And I was like, you know what? I got this Lino from live streaming. It's a cryptocurrency that never made it, but what's one that did make it? Bitcoin. Maybe now's the time to look into it. So in 2019, I went in on Bitcoin. Thank you to D-Live. That's how I got my start. And I don't want to know what the price was in Don't tell me what the Bitcoin price. Okay, tell me. Hexy, can you find it? What was the Bitcoin price in December of, it would have been New Year's Day. New Year's Day 2013. What was the Bitcoin price? The Silk Road, that's what it was talking about, yeah. Okay, so the big question, where did the Bitcoin go? The main reward went to this address. That's our next critical clue. A true solo miner would normally have the block reward paid directly to a wallet controlled by that miner. A normal pool, thousands of miners, the Bitcoin goes to a pool wallet. Later payouts would... Yeah. That makes sense. So what we want to find is this wallet a single wallet or is it a pool wallet? The most interesting thing so far, let's compare Heatbit's narrative. A single chip Bitcoin miner running at roughly 1 terahash. The blockchain evidence proves the block exists. Date is July 10, not July 12. Reward was 3.13 Bitcoin. Coinbase contains BTC.com. Reward went to a P2SH address. So not proven is that the miner was 1 terahash. The miner was a bit air. It didn't say that. Be very clear. It did not specify that. And the miner was connected to a solo pool. These things are all untrue. So the next thing I would do, the juicy part, I would now take the wallet address and search that address. Is the address used by BTC.com? Does it receive other mining rewards? Does it distribute payouts to many miners? Was this address created around the block? Is there any connection to Solo CK? If this address turns out to be a BTC.com mining wallet, the Heatbit claim gets much harder to defend. If this turns out to be a Solo CK payout address, then we have a twist. The blockchain is basically saying, here's what happened. Now we have to identify who controlled the destination. Yeah, let's do this. Are you fucking kidding me? $5 was the start of year price for 2012. Actually, it would have been 2013. I think I said 2013. We broke up in March of 2013. Not because of this. So it would have been the start of 2013. Sorry, I got that wrong, dude. But that kills me if it was around $5. We had a few grand we were going to put into it. We had a few $1,000 that we were ready to say. I was like, if this guy vouches for it, I was involved in the hip hop community in Adelaide, and these guys were big. I'm not naming names, but these were big players in that world. And he was like, no, you got to get on this, man. This is the time. You should do this. You and your partner should do this. And so I was like, hey, man, if they said this, then we should listen. And I didn't. I never listen. So let's investigate that wallet address. So here is the address. Let's put it in. Let's make this clearer. Let's go back to... It was $13 for the top of 2012. So we're talking about 15 Australian dollars. We're going to put a couple of grand in. What the hell was that little alert? What was that alert noise? I don't even know where that came from. I don't know what that alert was. I genuinely don't know what that alert noise was. I liked it though. What could that have been? What could that have been? I'm just looking at all of my outputs here I'm looking at all of my stream outputs, and I don't know what that alert came from. I do not know. Is it a pilled alert? That's muted-tarded. It's muted-tarded. They're all muted to edited. Jake, I gave you a $1 Rumble rant. That was Jake just then on Rumbleskis? Hey, thanks, Jake. I don't know what that means on Rumble, but thank you, man. I'm all rumbled out. Is that payment for triggering those thousands of alerts that killed me before? It's worth more than $1, dude. Just saying. No, I appreciate you, man. Thank you, dude. So here is that wallet address. 36 ends in RD. Yeah, this is the one. So let's put the wallet address in all of these different explorers. Well, we don't need to. We can just go through one, right? 36 RD. This is the wallet address. I guess I'll just search it through BTC network. We'll just search through the wallet. This is the wallet address. Lookup not yet available. Oh, wow. It's NSA signing off. They were watching all the crypto talk. The NSA. Okay, so that block explorer doesn't have. We got to do it. We got to do this through two different explorers, right? So what was the other one we used? I can't remember. BTC block explorer. Blockchain.com explorer. I keep getting distracted. Let's go btcexplorer.io skis. This looks nice. There's so many of these, right? So let's search for the wallet. Oh, no, I just want to search. Why can't I just search? Live blockchain data. Explore the live transactions. Can't we just search for a transaction? Wallets, this is when... I mean, all these look lovely, but I just want one that's super simple, right? Blockchain.com. Did we not even check this one? Oh, give me dark mode, quick. Where's dark mode? Turn that shit off. I don't want to see any football scores. Search blockchain transactions. Here we go. This is the wallet address. They do have a Bitcoin Cash. Dude, there are 2 blockchains with results to your search. They've got a... Hexa, you asked me before. They do have a Bitcoin Cash address, but I guess that's no. Okay, so here is the wallet. Get that off there. Is it better on... Let's get rid of her. Is it better on this one? Funny how crypto has changed from cypherpunks changing the world and fighting the Fed to Wall Street on board and blockchain. Yeah, BlackRock. Yeah. It's everybody, isn't it now? Okay, so what do we want to do here? We want to find out who owns this address. You can't do that, but we want to find out other transactions. Here are the incoming unspent outputs. Here are all the transactions. Okay. Outgoing. It's paying a lot of outgoing. This is today? Dude, it's pumping out these transactions today? What the fuck? At 4:30, like 9 minutes ago, all these transactions went. This is a mining pool. At 2:04 yesterday. Also today, sorry. But these are worth nothing. 2,000 sats, 400 sats. Can we just see all the outgoings? Let's see if it looks better on here. Can we see all the outgoing transactions? Can we close that sidebar down? No. Incoming, outgoing, incoming. What the hell? What? Huh? It's always mining. The fuck's going on here? Incoming transaction. 3 Bitcoin, 3 Bitcoin, 3 Bitcoin, 3 Bitcoin, 3 Bitcoin. What the hell's going on in this wallet? Something really fishy here, dude. It's always mining 3.15 Bitcoin, 3.16. The fuck is going on with this wallet? These dates, the 6th, 28th, 29th, 38th, 8th. This is funkified up the wazoo. What the hell? This address has transacted 4,178 times on the Bitcoin blockchain. It has received a total of 12,556 Bitcoin to the value of that's $812 million. $812,273,180. This is not a... Yo, Heatbit, what's going on here? Even a dum-dum like me can learn and do some chain analysis and find this straight away. What are you talking about? You saying someone just like a nobody with a 1 terahash connected to a solo mining pool did this? No, look at the wallet, dude. Fuck me. Okay, this is the smoking gun. Let's copy pasta all this into the GPT and see what it spits out. That's only page 1. This is crazy. Okay. This looks crazy. Look at the outgoings and incomings. Do you know much about fantasy football? Nah, dude, I don't. I've had a fantasy revolving around football. Check this out. This is the smoking gun. Oh, this is the rabbit hole opening. This is exactly the kind of evidence that changes the investigation. The address behavior you pasted is probably the most important clue so far. Let's slow down and interpret what we're seeing. What address did we follow? This address. The one that starts 36, ends in RD. That received the block reward from that, which is 3.13. Yep. The question was, does this look like a solo miner wallet or does it look like a mining pool? Look at the history. The pattern is screaming mining pool payout address. Look at these entries. Block reward to 6 outputs, 3 Bitcoin. The day before, block reward to 6 outputs, 3.18 Bitcoin. Block reward to 6 outputs. Always pumping out to 6. This address is receiving many block rewards. That's a huge clue. A normal solo miner who wins a lottery would generally have a block reward. Their wallet holds Bitcoin. D-Rate R6ly, what is your main platform? Hey, that is a great question, and I am glad you asked that on Rumble. D-Rate R6ly. I'm going to give you something right now on the Rumble machine. Give me a second to grab this for you, man. I got something for you, dude. That's what it looks like, but I'm going to give it to you in the Rumble machine. I'm going to give it to you right up the Rumble, right in the Rumble machine. I just closed down a tab by accident. Let me give you something, dude. I'm in the Rumble on the chat. I just pasted a link for you in Rumble. D-Rate R6ly. Click that link. Takes you to a platform called Valora.tv. Now, why am I telling you about a platform that you don't really care for? I want you to come over there and at least sign up. Simply because your handle, D-Rate R6ly, whatever the fuck that all means, if you want that shithouse handle, you've only got a small amount of time to get it because Valora is a new platform which is fast growing. 2,000 users right now. 2,000 users just ticked over about a day or two ago. It's getting bigger and popular. It's beautiful. It's a great platform. I'm loving it over there. I've got it's my focus. That's a referral link I posted in the Rumble chat for you. You click that. I don't know what it does for me. It just tags that you use my referral. I don't know what it does for you. It just tags that you use my referral. But what it does for you right now, it lets you nab your handle because you might not give a shoot or a shit. You might not care about Valora right now, but maybe down the track you might. You know, come a year from now when everyone's using Valora and you're like, oh, I don't remember hearing about that shit a while back. Well, you also went over there and signed up, right? And you nabbed your handle. Because if you don't, someone might come and grab that one off you. I doubt it, but there are weirdos that will go and nab handles just to then on-sell them later. So you want to go over there, grab that shit. And by the way, it just dawned on me that I might be talking to a troll or a bot. That might not even be a real person. Yo, Rumble, fuck you. I just wasted all my time. Fuck you, man. That's a bot, right? I'm talking to a bot on Rumble. I'm not used to it on Rumble. I'm used to it on Nemo.tv. They're always bumbling and rumbling and rolling and brawling. Hexy, I'm not into it either, but I think they're a valuable way to create fantasy sports games on the blockchain that could help to make crypto more mainstream. Okay. Okay, so we were talking about these outgoings. So yeah, the really interesting part, from the block reward to 6 outputs, this is classic mining pool pattern. The pool finds the blocks, collects the block rewards, then pays them out. The address receives the block reward, then sends it out. You have block reward, goes to the address, multiple outputs. This is not how a lucky bit air solo miner would normally look. No, it is not. Now look at the outgoing transactions. This is the smoking gun. For example, blah, 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 blah. This is the exact amount from block 957386. So block 957386, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. The reward has moved. Notice the timing. The block was found July 10. Reward moved July 11. 28 hours later. This is very consistent with pool accounting. Yo, D-Raid R6, who you ranting to? I was actually ranting to you. Are you a real person? Then I take back my finger. I close it back down. Go and click the link. It's above you, man. I put it in the Valora chat for you. I'll do it again if you are actually a real person. Go and sign up. You know what? If you're a real person, go and sign up right now on Valora.tv with that referral link and use that shitty handle you've got, and I'll know that you're real. How about that? Prove yourself or get the fuck out of here. Because we're busy. Let's revisit Heatbit's claim. Their wording, a single chip Bitcoin miner running at roughly 1 terahash found Bitcoin block 957386. The implication is that it's a tiny miner on a solo mining pool winning the whole reward. The blockchain trail currently looks like it's a Bitcoin.com style Coinbase. That's the first transaction. The mining payout wallet, the transaction goes to there, and then the regular block reward processing. They are completely different. The important caution, we still need one more piece before declaring court. What do we need? What more do we need? This wallet has like 360 million Bitcoin. You telling me that that's just a regular Joe? I am. We told did. I didn't follow, read it backwards. Why the fuck are you talking to me backwards? Why are you talking to me backwards? Why am I bothering talking to you? Why are you typing backwards in my chat? The chat doesn't show up here? It's right there, dude. It's right there on screen. Are you saying Valora chat? Valora chat? This one? Valora chat works fine, dude. Fuck you, man. I don't know what you're saying. I'm getting trolled here. I'm getting trolled. And he's throwing me off my game. So go and grab your handle and be done. I'll see you in a few months when you decide you want to use Valora.tv. But right now, just get your handle, be done. Okay, so let's go back to this. The address itself does not prove who operated the miner. A pool could theoretically use a shared wallet, have weird payout arrangements, receive solo mining rewards. So we need to identify the relationship between BTC.com and that one. The strongest next checks are identify the block miner. Okay, does it say BT? Identify the block miner. Does it say BTC.com or unknown? We checked all that already. The 3 different block explorers all confirmed that it was BTC.com. Check the destination address cluster. 4,000 transactions. 12,556 Bitcoin received. 12,546 Bitcoin sent. That is not a personal wallet. That's a high volume operational wallet. An 800 million throughput address is almost certainly an exchange pool. Of course it is. Investigation step number 3, follow the Bitcoin. We already have the path. Now ask, if that is a Bitcoin payout wallet or pool, the case becomes very strong. Current investigation, block exists, reward, dates are incorrect, tiny miner involved, question mark, looking doubtful. I think we don't need to go any further. This is a genuinely interesting blockchain investigation. The next thing I would do is cluster the address and identify who owns it or what entity owns it, because right now the blockchain story appears to be mining infrastructure wallet received a BTC.com tagged block reward. The remaining question is, was there actually a tiny solo miner behind that block, or did Heatbit attach itself to a completely different mining event? That's the key question. I think from judging on what we've seen here, the transaction history of this wallet address, it's pretty bloody obvious, right? This is a mining pool. I don't think, let's just say, just going off the info we gathered from, what was this, Bitcoin blockchain.com, from blockchain.com, I think we can safely say this is a mining pool. I'll paste that info again just in case. Well, that's the Valora link, in case it again doesn't seize it. Yes, with the evidence we have so far, it's reasonable to conclude that this address is behaving like a mining pool payout operations wallet rather than a private solo miner. I would phrase it carefully if this is live. The address behavior is consistent with a mining pool rather than this is definitely a mining pool wallet. I mean, what more evidence do you need from the Block Explorer? It's showing us the transactions. So Hexy, I think the Reddit post said that not only one mining pool, but it was using rented hash rate from NiceHash. Is that right? So the pattern is the giveaway. Yeah. Okay. So I think, okay. So what we can safely say right now, you can safely say right now, I'm just skimming through this because we've already gone over it. So you can safely say that the email from Heatbit is completely fraudulent. A small home miner just did something extraordinary. On July 12, a single chip Bitcoin miner running at roughly 1 terahash found one blockchain block on Bitcoin block 9573886. The reward was 3.125. It wasn't an industrial mining farm. Yes, it was. It was one compact miner. No, it wasn't. Connected to a solo mining pool. No, it wasn't. Competing under the same Bitcoin rules as every other miner. Yes, that's true. The odds were extremely small. Most such miners will never find a block. The possibility is real. That is the idea behind BitAir. Now, by the way, let's pump this. Can I just grab this? I'm going to just give this link to the GPT and see what it says. Where is that link? I can't give that link. Fuck you, man. Okay, I can't put that image in there. I was going to ask what the proof was there. BitAir combines a true HPA air purifier with approximately 1.2 no mining. So the problem here is, or the situation now is, that email is an advertising campaign. It's based upon factual information that's verifiable by digging into the Block Explorer. The question now becomes, is it illegal to advertise in that manner? Are there regulations that stipulate that you cannot modify real world events to sell a product? Because they've taken the information, they've taken the facts and morphed it into a story which didn't actually happen. And the basis of that is to sell their product. So is that illegal? is the question. So let's ask the GPT machine that, because that's where I really wanted to go with this. So based upon everything we have uncovered here now, and given the wording of the email, the question now becomes, is it illegal to advertise a product using real-world situations? Real-world situations, I guess, is the situations, yet morphing them into a false narrative on the basis, not on the basis, with the view to selling a product? That's the real question I've got. So, because when I woke up and read that email, I was like, wow. I mean, technically that could happen, right? Like a single Bitcoin bit air, or what's a Heatbit, a single heater running by a Heatbit. In this case, it wasn't a heater, it was the air purifier. A bit air could potentially find a block, right? That's the math does check out that it could happen. Extremely rare, but yeah, it could happen. So if it did happen, that's almost as amazing as the dude buying 2 pizzas with Bitcoin, right? Back in the day. That's the same kind of narrative that this fits into. This kid bought Bitcoin with pizzas. The pizzas are now worth $40,000 per pizza because of the price of Bitcoin. And by the way, in 2026, a dude running his heater at home mined a Bitcoin block and got 3 Bitcoin rewards. That's the kind of great story that would bring more people into Bitcoin, right? Bring more people into the ecosystem. But if it's just been fabricated, if it's just taken existing facts and changed it all around to try to sell in more of the product, it's kind of like, doesn't seem very fair. And I wonder if it's illegal. I'm not going to enforce it. I'm not the law, but I'm allowed to be curious about that. So the question is, so based upon everything we've uncovered here, and given the wording of the email, the question now becomes, is it illegal to advertise a product using real-world situations, yet morphing them into a false narrative with the view to selling a product? Pretty straightforward question. This is the right question to ask now, because we have moved from, is the blockchain data true, into what does the marketing mean, and could that meaning cross into a legal boundary? The short answer, yes. It can potentially be illegal to market a product using a real event while creating a misleading impression, even if every individual sentence contains some technically true words. Read that again. Yes, it can potentially be illegal to market a product using a real event while creating a misleading impression, even if every individual sentence contains some technically true words. Whether Heatbit's email crosses that line depends on the jurisdiction, the exact wording, the product claims, and whether a reasonable consumer would be misled. Well, I certainly was. I'm a regular consumer. Look at me. Look at me. I'm as regular as they come. I woke up, read that email and went, wow, goodness gracious, what a lucky dude. I should have bought one of those Heatbit miners. What a great story. And then I read it again and I was like, wait a sec, they didn't actually say he was using a Heatbit miner. And I read it again, like again, and I read it, and I sat and I was like, read it, man, read it. And I digested it. And they're not saying that at all. They're saying this thing happened, and we've got a similar product that has a terahash rate the same. And if you have, this guy has that one and he got that. So if you get our one that has the same hash rate, you could get that as well. But even that didn't happen. That didn't happen. That was a mining pool. That's got 3, what is it? Every 5 times a day they bring in and out 3 Bitcoin. That's not a single dude sitting at home with these little, unbelievable, right? Since you're in Australia, the relevant lens is Australian consumer, but it's not Oh, this is a good question. This is a good point. Is it illegal to market that? Wait, in the jurisdiction, the business Heatbit's American. So in the American jurisdiction, it may be illegal to send this email out to Americans, but it might not be illegal to outbound other parts of the planet. So if you're an American entity, can you advertise to Australia and make up shit? That's probably more the question, because I received it in Australia. I wonder if anyone else received it outside of Australia. Do you get this email if you're just on the like I did look at this product or the heater a little while ago, a couple of years ago now, and I guess I must have made an account, so I'm on their email chain. But I wonder if there's a legal loophole where it's like you can't do that if you're going to be an American-based, probably an LLC, right? You're going to base yourself and your target audience is global. There's different rules for the different parts of the world, maybe. So they're talking about Australian consumer law. I'm more okay, let's read this. Sorry. Let's analyze the Heatbit email like a regulator might. The email says, a small home miner just did something extraordinary. This opening immediately creates a mental image. A person at home with a small device won a Bitcoin block. That's the emotional hook. Then, on July 12, a single chip Bitcoin miner running roughly blah, 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 wonder. This sentence makes several linked claims. A single chip miner found it. It was around 1 terahash, found that specific block, happened on July 12. We don't see that from what we've discovered. The question becomes, would a normal customer interpret this as a BitAir-like home miner directly won this block? Yes. If yes, then the missing context matters. Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I did. The analogy, imagine a casino advertising a person playing our $1 lottery ticket just won 10 million. But the reality was a person bought a ticket through a syndicate that bought 50 million tickets. That's exactly what it is. The statement may not be literally impossible, but someone did buy a ticket, someone did win, but the advertisement creates a different impression. The problem is they're not saying that they used their product. The difference is where regulators focus. The strongest issue is not the date. No, it's not. That's sloppy. The biggest question is, did they imply causation, meaning a tiny home miner like ours can realistically do this? They definitely did. The email says BitAir combines approximately 1.2 terahashes of Bitcoin mining power. While it cleans the air in your home, it can keep making independent attempts to find a Bitcoin block. Immediately before that, this is the idea behind BitAir. Then immediately before? That doesn't make sense. Then immediately before, you mean immediately after or before? That's a deliberate connection. The reader is being encouraged to associate the miracle block with this product category. Exactly. The disclaimer helps them. They included, you may never find a block. That is smart legality. Yes, it is smart. It acknowledges uncertainty. They also avoided saying you will make money, guaranteed returns, profitable mining. This is true. That'd be much riskier. Disclaimers don't magically fix misleading impressions, though. A classic principle, a disclaimer cannot cure a misleading headline. Example, headline. The investment made people rich. Small print, most people lose money. The small print doesn't necessarily save you. The overall impression matters. Interesting. Where this gets interestingly legal, the critical factual question is, did a 1 terahash miner actually find block? If yes, Heatbit probably has a defensible argument. We reported a real event and explained that rare events can happen. If no, the advertisement may materialistically be misleading because the entire story is built on a false accusation. My current evidence-based assessment, based on what we have uncovered, things that appear true. A tiny miner somewhere did apparently find a Bitcoin block around this period, assuming the original event exists. Bitcoin mining luck can produce extreme outliers. A 1.2 terahash device technically has a non-zero chance. Things that appear questionable, the specific block number date association, the implication that block 957386 was a solo home miner event, that's obviously not true. The connection between that event and BitAir's product, it's obviously a huge stretch. For a live stream, I would avoid saying Heatbit broke the law. I'm not saying that they broke the law. I'm asking, is their email breaking the law? We have not enough evidence for that. I would say the blockchain evidence appears inconsistent with the narrative. whether the issue, this is a much, so I guess the question I have now is there a legal loophole with advertising like this from a USA-based entity to an AU-based customer? Me? Different parts of the world having different regulations. I wonder if any US-based customers received this email also. He won't be able to tell me that, obviously. This is a really interesting cross-border consumer law question because companies sometimes assume we're based in the US, therefore US rules apply, but it's usually more complicated. The short answer, no, being US-based does not automatically create a loophole where it can market misleading claims to Australian consumers. If a company actively markets to Australians, Australian consumer protection laws can potentially apply. The harder question is enforcement, of course, yeah. Which countries' laws apply? There are usually 3 possible layers. Australian law, because you are the consumer. Australian Consumer Protection Framework can apply if the company is selling to Australian consumers. It definitely was, right? Definitely is. Reserve your bit air for $5. Yeah, the Heatbit team. So they give you a link to click to go and do that. The marketing reaches Australian consumers. Well, it came to my email address, which I've redacted here, but well, you can see it there. If you look, if you squint your eyes, you can see Jesus. It's right there. Just tilt your head, you'll see it. The transaction occurs with Australians. I'm an Australian. Bloody oath, mate. Oh, fuck yeah, I'm an Aussie. The Australian Consumer Law, ACL, applies regardless of whether the seller is physically located overseas. So US law, because Heatbit is US based, the US also has rules against deceptive marketing. The big one is the FTC focuses heavily on deceptive advertising, misleading claims, omissions of important facts, claims that create a false impression. The practical reality. The law may exist in multiple places. The hardest part is who actually takes action. That's how this falls apart, right? For a $5 reservation deposit and a consumer product, regulators are unlikely to launch an internal enforcement and action unless there's a pattern, thousands of complaints, blah, blah. So I guess what we've discovered here, and this is the reason I wanted to do this stream, I wanted to learn how to analyze the blockchain. I've got a relatively solid knowledge of Bitcoin and blockchain, but I've never done any chain analysis, and that's the first real deep dive into it. I'm not suggesting Heatbit are lying. I am suggesting that what we discovered through my newfound knowledge of Block Explorer, deep diving, chain analysis, the story isn't what they were saying the story was. And I guess the only way to really verify it is to get a Heatbit bit air. Should I just go and reserve one for $5? I mean, I'll tell you what would be great. This would, hey, by the way, Heatbit, if anyone from Heatbit's watching, this would be cool. How about we team up and I run a bit air here and we see, maybe we set it up, we get a public wallet, we let it roll for a set amount of time, we see how much hash rate it accumulates, we see how much Bitcoin rewards it identify, how many blocks it lands, if any, how many portions of blocks. We do that, we do it and we check on it not every stream, but every week we pull it up and we say, this is the hash rate that it's running at. Would that be cool, Would that be cool, Heatbit? If I'll send this, how long is it? I'm not going to send you this entire 2-hour stream, but I just feel like we could somehow verify this. We could at least not, like I'm not expecting to find an entire block, but I am expecting to be able to prove this terahash rate. Like that would be one thing that we could do to dispel this myth or this rumor. If I could visually like showcase this, have it set up there, get it rolling. Maybe the heater as well. It's winter, right? In fact, the heater would be better right now. It's the dead set middle of winter in Australia. We could, by the way, where is their heaters? How much hash rate do their heaters have though? Other products? Maxi Pro? Bitcoin heater. What's the hash rate on this? Where's the hash rate? Where's the hash rate? I mean, they've got a lovely looking website. Reserve now? Thank yourself in October? This hasn't even exist yet? It's a big ass machine. Where's the hash rate? I just want to see if it's equal to the Heatbit device use cases, choosing a lottery mining, shipping, returns, warranty, 10 questions. You'd think that the hash rate. I'll just ask the GPT machine. Can you find the hash rate comparison for all Heatbit products? This is actually a useful piece of the puzzle because we can compare the marketing narrative against the actual mining power of the Heatbit range. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, look at this. Okay. The Heatbit Maxi, the one we were looking at, 39 terahashes. So the Bit Air 1.2 terahash, Heatbit Trio 10 terahash, the Maxi 39 terahash. So Heatbit, how about this for a solution to this situation? Send me a Heatbit Maxi. I'll document that shizzle as best as I can, right? I'll document that and we will compare and see if we do get 39 terahashes, and I'll also showcase the Bitcoin earning. Who did that? What is that noise? We're getting all these different alert noises. From where did that come? I don't even know what that was. I'm going straight to Rumble because that's where it came in last time. What was that noise? Could have been on the website. Yeah, Heatbit. Let's get a Heatbit Maxi to Australia. I don't know. Do you ship them to? Let's find out. Do they ship to Australia? Do they? Well, they must ship to Australia. They advertise to Australia. Do they ship to Australia? Interesting timing given your investigation. I checked the shipping information. The answer is a little contradictory. Heatbit's shipping policy says they handle international shipments, give international delivery, 4 to 22. The FAQ currently states we currently ship to the United States and Canada. Wow, okay. It says put one in the cart, enter a shipping address, see whether the checkout generates. Okay, well, I don't want to do all that, but Hexy, get one of those USB-powered Bitcoin miners to try your luck solo mining. Ooh, I didn't even know they existed. A USB-powered Bitcoin miner? Wait, so you could run it while you're driving in the cigarette lighter? Are you telling me I could be mining Bitcoin while I'm driving? What? Really? I've got to look into that, right? So Heatbit. By the way, Hexy, let's look into that another time, but that's something that I didn't know about. That's why I love these crypto streams. We always learn shit. Like we're learning every time we do one of these crypto streams. My brain, like I'm not kidding. My brain feels frizzled right now. I've been live for 2 hours deep diving and learning this stuff. And now I've learned something at the very end, that you can get a USB powered Bitcoin miner. Then why are they doing them in big data centers and like having trouble getting enough power and hash rate if you can just plug one in? Okay, there's got to be a catch to it. There's obviously a catch to it. But yeah, Heatbit, I'd love to test this out. And at the very least, if we're not going to work together and we're not going to prove this, then at least remove me from the mailing list, because don't send me those funky emails. Get me G'd up in the first thing in the morning like that. That's not fair. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. Appreciate you all. See you in a few days. The weekend comes up soon. I'm be streaming over the weekend. I'll catch you then. Have a great time otherwise. A very low hash rate. Yeah, that makes sense. Cheers, man. Thanks for being here with me, Hexy. Appreciate you, man. Oh, it's so cold here. I need a Heatbit heater with a with 39 terahash. Don't forget to farkle in the chat. Get him out of here.
New Zealand's vibe, surfing waves day to night. Always look